Hello, 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 hello. Get up, get up, get up. And hopefully you've been up because it's a new day. It's a fresh start. Happy May. Your girl Amber here. If you do not know me, we should be friends, okay? I am going to drop up my website, Amber Mabry Thrives, because that's what I do. That is my prophetic personal declaration over me and my life. And not only that, everything I touch and everyone that I touch, that is also what I believe we should do. Thrive. So I want to jump up here real quick because the last 24, 48 hours of my life have been a little bit different than how I feel right now. I've been getting over a little sick bug here in our household, and I feel so good this morning. I said, thank you, God, for fresh energy for a new day, a new month. The month of May is special for many reasons, but one is it's my birthday month, y'all. Birthday month. So I'm bringing you all the fresh energy today. Encouragement, which if you don't know what that is, it's encouragement, but it's encouragement the Amber way. Like only I can do it. Okay. So I'm bringing you some fresh energy, fresh love, good, positive outlook this morning as we talk about being intentional. Okay. Anybody who knows me, and if I got anybody, I see some of y'all coming up in here. Hey, Stacy. That's my sister friend. We are live on Facebook, LinkedIn, as well as YouTube. At this morning, it's still morning for another few minutes. So this morning we are live on those platforms. If you are with me, go ahead and say something. I love to say something about you if I see you. But anybody who knows me knows I'm always talking about being intentional. And I think the more and more I grow in life, develop as a mother and a wife and an entrepreneur, I'm a graphic designer, professional designer, I've been doing that for many years. I run different things, so I wear a lot of hats, just like we all do. And one thing I am learning more and more is I must be intentional. Being intentional is a wonderful thing once you lay a hold on its power. Once you recognize you have the power to use it, it's like a tool. But a tool is no good if we don't learn how to use it properly and when we don't use it consistently. Okay. So today I specifically want to talk about the power of intentions, of setting intentions. Whether you want to say intentions or goals, I wanted to use intentions intentionally today because there's a mindset that goes around being intentional. And I guess goals too, but a lot of people hear goals and they kind of shy away from, like, I don't want to always be setting goals. Well, you're setting goals by not setting goals. Let's just say that you not having intentions, you not making a direct decision on what you want to do or not do is automatically setting you up for a goal of, maybe it might be failure, it might be not being in the relationships you want to be in, it may be setting you up for not getting my phone went off, hold on one second. Getting the outcomes that you really want and can have. And so the reason why I'm putting this out here is because I've been in so many conversations, and I just know because of the people I work with and the type of work that I do, that we are sometimes one or two steps away from our definite outcomes or what we really want. But until we are intentional to see the scope of where we're at, right, as well as what the responsibilities might be that we have to take action on, right, to get where we're going, then we kind of just be held up, just kind of in timeout. So we're going to talk really quickly about being intentional, and my hope is that something that is said today will help you jumpstart your May, jumpstart your mindset for May, not just for May, but specifically in May. To have a different outcome, to have renewed joy, to be refreshed, to have some clarity on where you're at and where you want to go, and not even you, where God wants you to go. Because that's really the main ultimate intention is to be where God wants us to be. That's how I feel about my life, okay? I only want to be where God wants me to be. and I want to be in step with that. But there is a responsibility that I have to take on for that to fully manifest itself. So let's talk about what is being intentional, or what does an intentional person look like. Okay, being an intentional person means, and I pulled this offline, okay, means everything that that person does is done with clear purpose. Purpose is one of my other favorite words. Purpose and focus. If you don't hear nothing else I say today, intentional or intention, purpose, and focus. These three words, oh my goodness. Every person who has had any level of satisfaction, contentment, success in their lives are demonstrating and living out one or more of these three words, just three words: intention, purpose, focus. And so when I talk about being intentional, it's not something you can just kind of slip up on. Like, for instance, my days go a lot smoother when I'm intentional about writing down what I aim to do when I wake up, whether it be for me, my kids, my husband. If I wake up scatterbrained, the day starts off scattered, and sometimes it ends a little out of order, right? Now, I'm not focusing us on being perfectionists, y'all. It's not about being perfectionists. Every day there's a twist and turn. Anybody who has kids, anybody who has a business, anybody who has life happening, which is everyone, 100% of us, it's not perfection that we focus on when I'm talking about intention. But we're saying, if things go well, this is what I intend to do. This is what I desire. This is what I'm going to do to get said outcomes. That's a mindset. That's a decision. That's being purposeful. So for me, when I wake up in the morning, I like to wake up knowing some level. Again, I don't know the whole day. Only God knows what my day holds, right? But I can wake up having put some things in place so that I'm not all over the place. A couple examples of that: if I have to get up and get my children ready along with my husband, one of the pet peeves, things that I hate having multiple people in the home with so many clothes, is finding socks in the morning. I have a 5-year-old and a 2-year-old. So, so finding those socks when you're trying to get out the door and nothing's matching and you can't find it, and you know you've seen it the other day, but you can't find, that is a pet peeve. Now, how can I address that? I can be more organized at night, right? Or what I try to do, and it does not always work, on the weekends, I try to organize, especially Sunday. The second part of Sundays, I try to designate to focusing in on planning for the week. Okay. And so if I do that, the week goes so much smoother. I'm not looking for things. I'm not disorganized. I'm intentional about doing said things so that my outcomes are different. And so again, I read this: being an intentional person means everything, or let's say most of the things that you do, you are doing it on purpose and with focus. Purpose and with focus. And so why is that also important? And let me just make sure I'm looking. It looks like I may have some technical difficulties. I want to make sure y'all can still see this before I keep going on. One moment, please. Oh, technology, be my friend. Okay, yeah. It looks like we still are live. And if you are live and you can see me, please say something. But okay, so what I want to talk about in regards to that, being purposeful and focused. Purpose is one of those questions I ask myself about a lot. Why am I doing this? And this is not just with work-related things. It may be ministry-related things. It may be helping certain people. Why am I doing this? And I think that is something we have to keep going back to, because some seasons you're doing things because you have to, and other seasons because God leads you to, and other seasons you don't even know why you're doing it, right? Not having purpose really, for me, frustrates me. If I don't know why I'm doing a thing, if it doesn't align to my big picture intention, or that if I don't feel like it's something I'm called to, then it's not part of my purpose. I don't need to be focusing on it. I don't need to put energy out on it. And so being purposeful is so important. I'm going to jump to the next thing. And really, this is going to wrap up with me just asking a few questions that I ask myself, that I ask my clients as a business owner, as well as a entrepreneur and visionary coach. I ask a lot of questions to people to get them thinking about, well, why are we creating this? Who is the end user? What's the audience? What's the big picture like after everything is finished? Why is this going to impact said people? Why is this important to you? All these things. But before I do that, I want to highlight some of the things that I think this month we can, if you focus on these few things this month, I think it's going to be a game changer, not just for you, but those around you. And I know it's true because when I practice this, it makes a big, big, big difference in my life and those around me. Number one, I want to encourage us to unplug this month. Okay, unplug. Unplug. What do I mean by that? There's so much stimulus. We have so much information. Social media is on crazy mode. We have to get intentional about unplugging. Okay, the same way we get intentional about eating, about spending time with our loved ones, about going to church, all these things we do, we have to get intentional about unplugging and unwinding for our sanity, for our health, right? For our creativity. And I'm saying this because these are the things that I'm practicing. It does help when you get to practice these things. Unplug. Unplugging is an intentional action, and it will help you in all aspects of your life. It will help you spiritually be able to replug, right? To stay plugged, to stay connected to the true vine, okay? Unplug. It's okay to unplug. And I actually read something the other day that really blessed me. And the other part of the unplug is unschedule. You know how we stay scheduled? We stay booked. Some people say booked and busy. I don't want that life. Even though I am booked and I am busy, I'm not confessing that. I don't want to be booked and busy all the time, right? In that regard, anyway. Unscheduling is an intentional step. Okay. What does unscheduling mean? Well, we add things to our calendars, right? We add things. We need to unschedule, take some things away from that calendar. This month, if you do nothing else, I want to encourage you to unplug and unschedule. One or two things. Make some space just for you. Make some space to take care of you. Okay? Make some space to take care of you and let God take care of everyone else. And this is something else I'm learning. Take care of me and let God take care of everyone else. That situation, that circumstance on your job, with your colleague, or that situation in somebody else's health, or something you've seen on the media that's really boggling down, pray about it. I'm always a big believer about praying and letting God do what God do. But that's another thing that really will help set your May up for success. Stop carrying everything. Stop worrying. Intentionally stop worrying. That is an intentional decision. That's an intentional action, y'all. Intentionally stop worrying. Stop stressing. Stop stressing. I could go into so many scriptures right now. I'm not going to do it right this moment, but stop stressing about things you cannot control. You can't control the world. You can't control what your kids are going to do tomorrow, or what this person might think about you. You cannot control it. So stop worrying about it. Welcome, man. If you're just joining, I'm just talking about different ways for us to be intentional, purposeful, and focused as we launch this new month of May. Okay. And so unplugging and unscheduling, I just can stay right there. But if you do nothing else, unplug, unschedule several things if you can on your plate, on your calendar, so you can be more sane, more clear, more focused, more purposeful. And I'll just even say, sometimes we can't be purposeful and we can't move to next levels in our lives because we're overcrowded. There's no space to go to a new level. There's no room for more flexibility because we've taken on way too much. We're taking on way too much. Do what you can for you and let God take care of everybody else. I want to throw out a few questions to you to think about. What are your top 3 intentions for the month? And why are they important to you? And if you don't ever set intentions for your day or your month, this won't work for you. If you're not open to setting intentions for your day, the time that God gives you in this earth, you will waste your life. I promise you will waste. People who don't ever get intentional or think, what do I really want to do? And I heard this the other day by a family member, I won't say who, but they said, it's amazing to watch you because everything you set out to do, you do it. I am intentional. And I'm personally motivated to be intentional. And so there's no shade if you're not personally motivated to be intentional. That's fine. We all need accountability. Iron really does sharpen iron. And I guess that's a shameless plug to talk about Vision Defined Women. If you are a woman and you are struggling and living intentionally in your organization, in your mind, in your house, with your business, in your marriage, Vision Defined Women is for you. It's an online community that supports women, helps them reach their goals. We share testimonies. We have prayer times. We have some upcoming workshops. We just launched our first podcast this past weekend. There's lots in store, but get plugged in. Get intentional. It's your life, right? It's your life. What you gonna do with it? That's really what I'm saying. It's your life. It's your month of May. Right? What are you going to do with your month of May? Okay. Question 1 again, or 2 in 1. What are your top 3 intentions for this month? And I would love for y'all to drop these comments below because I might just give some goodies away, some freebies away at the end of the month for anybody who actually comes back and says what they did. I don't know. If you're looking for accountability, you just been thrown a life raft. Jump on in. Why are these intentions important for you? Asking yourself, and self-reflection is powerful. It's a powerful thing. I ask myself questions all the time. Why are you doing this? Do you need to do this? What's your motive for that? And I'll even pause there because as a visionary coach and one who's always getting in people's heads, and so I probably should go get a therapy license one day or something, the way these conversations be going. But anyway, what I'm saying is when we don't have a good relationship with ourselves, or we're so focused on what everybody else thinks or says to us, then it doesn't create a healthy, free environment for you to live in. And I can honestly say, no boasting. Hey, Trees. Hey, Tanisha. Happy May. I see y'all coming through. I can honestly say I thrive and I'm excited for my life because I have learned and am learning to love me, to appreciate me, to acknowledge the gifts God has given me, to take joy in those gifts, that they are enough. Yes, I can go get another degree. Yes, I can take another class. But sometimes we just got to say enough is enough. I am enough with the way I am, who I am, big crazy hair, no makeup, don't care. I'm free. And that's why I can do all the things because I'm free. And so what I'm saying is, when I ask these questions to you or to my clients or to those who are in my communities, it's not because I'm coming for you. It's to encourage you and sometimes challenge you to stop and pause. What do you really want? What are your intentions for the month? Okay? Why are they important to you? Not to your boss, not to your pastor, not to your husband. Why are they important to you? The next question I'll jump into, how would completing your intentions this month, because we're talking about launching for May, right? This May is the month we're focusing on, but this could be used for any month and season and time, okay? How will completing your intentions or your goals really affect you, right? So if you know me, you know me. I do a lot of things and I love it. I love to see me have an idea, get a concept, sit in it, and then launch it and then see it blossom and then it turns into something else. I feel like intentions are like seeds in the ground. Just the same way our thoughts are seeds in our brain, right? And if I take those thoughts, the good thoughts I keep, the other ones I take captive, I throw them out, right? This is not the thought I need to keep. If you got negative thoughts swirling in your head, be intentional this month about saying, you know what? That's not what I should be thinking about me. That's not true. These people really are not talking about me. Like, I really do have all I need to launch this business. Okay. My manuscript is in a good enough space to get it to finally to the editor so that I can complete my book. You get what I'm saying? Like, the thoughts that we dwell in really do create our worlds. And so I don't want to get off, but being intentional with every facet of your life is what I'm saying. Get intentional with your thought life, get intentional with how you treat yourself, right? So back to what I was saying about how I feel about me. I bless God when people say good things about me, but if they don't, I feel good about me. It's not that I'm perfect. I have some things that I want to work on and see change, but every day I wake up, I'm not upset with me. I'm not angry at me. I'm not looking in the mirror and hate me. You know, when you have internal pains, hurts, and traumas that can't get healed and whole, then you can't really put out anything but what's inside. So that's a sidebar, but I do want to encourage anybody who's dealing with that. Let's be intentional about changing our mindset. Maybe you need to listen to an audio book or a podcast or something to elevate your mind. Maybe you need to go ahead and join Vision Defined Women to get around people who are like-minded, who care and who pray and who think on a different level. Do what you got to do is what I'm saying. Do what you got to do. I have one other question that I'm going to throw out here as you launch your May, okay? Because we launching. And it's still Thrive season. I know I will talk about that in, what was that? January and last December. It's still Thrive season, y'all. It's Thrive season. You know when it's not Thrive season? When you decide it's not Thrive season. And that's another shameless plug on why you should have a power word over your life. My one of my power words, as I already told y'all, is thrive. I tell myself that, I speak that over myself when I am thriving and when I'm not, on my good days and my bad. Amber, you will thrive. You are thriving. It's a power word. Words are powerful. The words of God says life and death is in the power of our tongue. So what we speak, it means something and it creates our world. So even on that note, if you've been struggling in that place, confess to yourself. Yo, the way you talk to yourself, Amber, is not right. Put your name in there, not mine. Don't put me in your talks, your self-talk. Don't put me in there, okay? But you get what I'm saying. The way you talk to yourself is not the way you need to talk to yourself. This month, we changing that. Like, coach yourself. Self-coaching works. I'm all about therapy and all these things we got out here. But sometimes we just need to get real and say, talk to yourself. If you got to get a mirror or pull your phone up and put your camera on and record you, that might actually be a good exercise for somebody. Asking yourself, and I'm going to throw it out there, and I probably will do something special for anyone who does this, okay? Record yourself answering these 3 questions. And for the Vision Defined Women, this is going to be y'all's homework. It just came up, okay? What are your top 3 intentions for this month? Why are they important to you? How will completing these intentions affect you and others? Okay, because it's not always about you. Sometimes if you are always late, if you don't follow through with your clients, if you have a mouth that gets you in trouble with your spouse or people at work, these are things we can be intentional about, right? It doesn't just affect me, it affects others. But sometimes the work that we think somebody else needs to do, y'all, is our homework. I like to say homework because this is my home. I control the attitudes, the intentions, the thoughts, the words. We can say it's other people, but you control your house. So if there's some things that you need to do to affect your outcome, not just for you, but for others, this is for you. And the last question, how will you reward yourself after you complete these intentions? because rewards are very important. And let's just be honest, sometimes and I can say I've done it several times, many times. You complete things and then you don't even stop to applaud yourself. You're just like, woo, that's done. And then you move on to the next thing. It's very important to be intentional, to love yourself, to celebrate you. Don't matter if nobody else celebrates you. Love yourself. Celebrate you. Celebrate your small wins. Celebrate your big wins. Celebrate you. So how will you reward yourself once you complete your intentions for the month of May? That's what I want to throw out. Those 3 questions. I will try to add these questions in the post so that you can have them. And I want to challenge anybody who watches this to do May's intentions. May's intention challenge. Maybe I'll say something like that. And I'll leave you with a few quick scriptures. I did not plan to go this long, but it's all good. We flow. Trust in the Lord with all your heart. Everyone's probably read this or heard this. And if you have not, this is a nugget for you. You know how we eat natural food every day and we need it for our nourishment so that our brain actually works and our blood has what it needs for oxygen and all the rest? We need spiritual word, y'all. This is a nugget. This is a little piece of breadcrumb, okay? Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways. And it's not easy to do this, but when we meditate, I know for me, when I meditate, if I get up in the morning, I read this and I sit with it, I chew on it, I'm thinking about it. And then later on, I think about it, chew on it, think about it. It does change you. The word will change you. The word works if we work it. So trust in the Lord with all your heart, lean not on your own understanding, but in all your ways acknowledge him, and he will, not a might, he will direct your paths. And I can say this, that I have lived this. The more when frustrating situations come, when things happen, it's like, wait, what? My attitude is nasty when I don't feel like dealing with certain things, or just life be lifing. We all know what that means. Life be lifing. Oh my goodness. When I stop trusting how I feel and my emotions and what I think somebody else might be feeling or thinking, and I just say, Lord, please help me right here. I acknowledge that you know all things. I acknowledge that you know this full day, the full circumstance. You know all the scenarios. You know what's going on in the hearts of every person involved. And I trust that you're going to work things out for my good. Help me to bridle my tongue. Help me to stop thinking whatever I don't need to think. Help me to just be in a place of peace. He really comes through, y'all. He really comes through. So if you do need to be intentional as well in regards to praying or trusting God, be intentional. Chew the word. Here's one last one. Many are the plans of a man's heart, but the counsel of the Lord, that's what will stand. That's what's going to stand. And so what that means is, even somebody like me who's talking about intentions, talking about planning and organizing, there's only so much of that we can do because we are limited beings, y'all. We're just humans. God has a big picture plan. He really does. So in all of these things, we take things back to God. We ask him for his counsel. His counsel is better than any man in this earth who's ever lived. God has the best counsel. And so I would just leave that by saying, be intentional this month. I believe that this is going to be an amazing month for everyone who taps in, everybody who decides living intentional. And I'll go back to that one last time. Being an intentional person is not just happen by happenstance. It's a mindset. It's a decision. You have to decide, I'm going to be intentional with how I talk to myself, how I think. I'm going to be intentional with my day. I'm going to decide who comes into my day, what kind of energy I accept in my world, not just let anybody bump their gums and fill your head up with negativity and gossip and crazy. Then you go home crazy. Then you snapping at your spouse crazy. then your kids doing the same thing coming from other environments, crazy. Like we have some level of control. So I'm just saying, whatever intention looks like for you, be intentional, get clear, get purposeful this month, and watch what happens. I'm not saying what I don't know. My life is not perfect, but when I am intentional and purposeful, man, great things happen. I have joy, I have love, and I have enough to pour out. That's why encouragement is a thing. I have enough to pour out, staying connected to God as much as I can, and learning as I go and growing as I go. So I hope that this was encouraging to you. Again, last shameless plug, if any woman out here needs accountability, support to live, to grow in business, home life, marriage, what have you, you are invited to be a part of the Vision Defined Women community. It's online, it's not on Facebook. Okay, it's a private professional community where you can tap into, be a part of our live events as well as our offline chats, and you will love it. You will definitely love it. We have some great things coming up. So tap in, learn more at visiondefinedwomen.com. And if you missed yesterday's podcast, go to Vision Defined Women's Facebook page and check that out. You will be blessed by it. Until next time, I hope this encouragement helps you to launch your May. Be intentional, y'all. It is Thrive season. It really is Thrive season. And you're going to look up in the next couple of months the people that's doing these things, not because I said them, just because the principles work, honey. You will be like, dang, I could tell that person was intentional. Okay? God bless you. Stay encouraged. Keep your mind focused. It's launch season. It's May madness, gladness, not madness, but gladness. And I'm hoping that you have a phenomenal month. God bless.